Estonia, 3 votes. Ethiopia, 1 vote. On the right-hand side, Ethiopia, 1 MP. Fiji, 3 MPs on the right-hand side, the far end. Finland, 3 votes. Finland, you can come down on the left-hand side. La France, vous avez 3 voix.
France, you have 3 votes.
À votre droite, s'il vous plaît.
Could you please come down to the right-hand side?
After the vote, please. Okay, we have taken note of the request, sir. Sir, I'm responding to you, sir. We have taken note that we should go a little bit more slowly. Thank you. We've taken good note of that. Nous allons continuer avec le...
Now we'll continue with Gabon.
Gabon, vous avez...
Gabon, you have 3 votes. Could you please come down to the left-hand side to vote?
Gambia, you have 3 votes. Gambia, if you can come on your left-hand side. Thank you. Gambia. Georgia, 3 votes. You may come down on the left-hand side. Gambia, you can go on the other side. Gambia, de l'autre côté, s'il vous plaît. Oui. Followed by Georgia on the left-hand side. Germany, 3 votes. On the left-hand side, please, Germany. Ghana, 3 votes, please. On the right-hand side, Ghana. Greece, 1 vote. Guinea, 3 votes. On the right-hand side, please, Guinea. Tonga, I haven't called Tonga. Guinea-Bissau, 3 votes, please. Guinea-Bissau, if you can go to the right-hand side. Or there's space here. You can go to this one on the left, Guinea-Bissau. Guyana, 3 votes. Hungary, 3 votes. You can go to the right-hand side, please, where there's nobody. And Iceland as well, 1 vote. If you could go to the right-hand side, Iceland. India, 3 votes. On the right-hand side, please, India. Please. Please do not assemble, sir. Please do not assemble in the front of the room. India, thank you, 3 votes, followed by Indonesia, 3 votes. If you can come down on the left-hand side, Indonesia. Indonesia, you may go on the right-hand side. I see there's nobody there. I will ask Iran to prepare 3 votes, 3 MPs. You may come to the left-hand side. Iraq, 3 votes. Iraq, you may go to the right-hand side, please. Followed by Ireland, 3 votes. Sirs, excuse me, we cannot be taking pictures during the vote. Once you have voted, please kindly return to your seats. There is absolutely no need for the staff to come down. Please, only the MPs with voting rights are invited to come down to cast their votes. Thank you. So we have Ireland coming down, 3 votes. Thank you. Followed by Italy, 3 votes. On the far right side, Italy. Japan, 3 votes. Please come down, left-hand side, Japan. Kenya, 3 votes. On the left-hand side, Kenya, if you can come here. Kuwait, 1 vote. Please come down. Laos, 1 vote. 1 MP may come down from Laos. Latvia, 1 person, please. Latvia. I also see the delegation of Tonga, 2 votes, Tonga. Okay, please over here. Salian, Tonga. Lesotho, 1 vote. Please come down to the front of the room. On the right-hand side. Libya, 3 votes. Please come down the left-hand side, Libya. Liechtenstein, 2 votes. Libya. Lithuania, 1 vote. On the far right, Lithuania. Malawi, 3 votes. On the left-hand side. The gentleman with the camera who is standing in the aisle, can you please move away? Please keep the aisles open. Please stand away from the aisles. Delegations are coming down. Thank you. Malaysia, 3 votes. Please come down to the right-hand side, Malaysia. Maldives, 1 vote to the left-hand side, Maldives. Mali, 3 votes, please. Mali à la droite extrême. Merci beaucoup. Malta, 1 vote on the left-hand side. Juan de Dios. Excuse me, we need to keep the aisles open. Yes, please, they should not be standing in the aisles. Mauritius, 3 votes. Please come down to the right-hand side. Mauritius. Followed by Mexico with 3 votes. Mexico, you can also go on the far right side. Monaco, 2 votes. On the right-hand side, Monaco. Morocco, 3 votes. Le Maroc. À l'urne de la droite, s'il vous plaît.
The right-hand urn, please.
Le Mozambique, 3 voix.
Mozambique, 3 votes. The right-hand urn, please, Mozambique.
3 votes for Mozambique. Mozambique, you may go to the other side, over there. Namibia, 3 votes. Thank you, Namibia. On the left-hand side, please. Another 10, 15 minutes. Yeah. Nepal, 3 votes. You may come down on the left-hand side. Nepal, thank you. Followed by the Netherlands with 2 votes. On the right-hand side, Netherlands. I called them. They had a flight, yeah. After Nepal, Netherlands, 2 votes, followed by Nigeria, 3 votes. Nigeria, please come down on the left-hand side. Nigeria. Norway, 3 votes. On the left-hand side, Norway, please. Norway is followed by Oman with 3 votes. Oman on the left-hand side, you can come down. Pakistan, 3 votes. On the left-hand side, if you can come down here, Pakistan, please. Palestine has voted. We continue with Peru with 1 vote. Peru, you can go on the far right, please. Poland as well. Poland, 1 vote. Portugal, 3 votes. On the left-hand side, please, Portugal. Romania, 2 votes, please. On the right-hand side, Romania. If we can continue, please, we will continue with the Russian Federation. 3 votes on the right-hand side, Russian Federation. Followed by Rwanda, 2 delegates, Rwanda, on the left-hand side. The delegates that are in the galleries, you may wish to come down already, and we would kindly ask that you wait on the side of the room until your country name is called. We are getting to you very, very soon. We are continuing with the delegates in the back of this room, Sao Tome and Principe. Sao Tome, you have 3 votes. You may come down. Saudi Arabia, 3 votes. If you can come to the left-hand side, Saudi Arabia. Salian, are the delegates coming from upstairs? Have you seen Saudi Arabia? Have you seen Saudi Arabia? They're not right now. Senegal, 3 votes. You may come down. 3 votes for Senegal. Serbia, 3 votes. If you could go to the right-hand side, Serbia, please. After Serbia, we have Seychelles with 3 votes. Seychelles, you may come to the right-hand side of the room. Sierra Leone, 1 MP. You are welcome to come down. Sierra Leone, 1 vote. Slovenia, 2 votes. Please come down, Slovenia. We are ready to take the votes from Somalia. Somalia, please, 3 votes. You're here. Thank you. Salian? They can vote here. No, coming up right now. Yeah. Do we have some South Africa in the room now? South Africa? South Africa has 3 votes. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. After South Africa, we have South Sudan, 3 votes. South Sudan, 3 votes, please. South Sudan is followed by Spain with 3 votes, please. I think there's more space on the other side on the right. After Spain, we have Sri Lanka with 3 votes. On the far right side, Sri Lanka, please. Suriname, 3 votes. On the right-hand side, Suriname, please. Or right over here. Yeah, thank you. And then we have Sweden. Sweden, you can go also, yeah. There's space on the right-hand side if you wish, Sweden. After Sweden, we have Switzerland with 3 votes. Switzerland, la Suisse, c'est bien là-bas, vous pouvez.
Switzerland, you can vote over there. My colleagues are waiting.
Syria, 3 votes. Do we have Syria in the room? If there are delegates waiting over there to vote, you can come on the other side of the room so that we can move this along. Thank you. Syria, you can come on this side of the room. Syria, you can come here. Thank you. Do we have Thailand in the room? 3 votes for Thailand, please. Thank you. After Thailand, we have Timor-Leste with 3 votes. Timor-Leste, you can come on my side of the room here. Thank you, Timor-Leste. You may get your ballot papers here. After Timor-Leste, we will move on to Uganda. Uganda has 3 votes on the left-hand side. Uganda, you can vote here. I see the delegation of Ukraine. You may come and vote. 3 votes, please. Over there, yes, my colleagues. United Arab Emirates, you may come on the left-hand side, on my side here. United Arab Emirates. Thank you. 3 votes. After the UAE, we have the United Kingdom with 3 votes. The United Kingdom may proceed. On that side there, I think it's fine. To be followed by the United Republic of Tanzania. If Tanzania can come on this side of the room. Do we have Tanzania in the room? Yes, thank you. Followed by Uruguay. Uruguay, 1 vote. Please proceed to my colleagues. Uzbekistan, 1 vote. And the last delegation that I have on my list is Vietnam with 3 votes. We are having the last delegations that are casting their vote. I see Uzbekistan. Has everyone voted there? I see one more delegation is casting its vote.
Ms. Odiambo, the floor is yours.
Mr. President, dear parliamentary colleagues, I have the honor to present to you the report of the Committee on the Human Rights of Parliamentarians on the session held in Luanda. As usual, I will present the cases in alphabetical order per region. I will start with Africa, and just want to say that I am actually pleased to be presenting this report when Africa is presenting a president and a woman president. I will start with the Democratic Republic of the Congo. The committee examined several cases in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, including 3 new cases. I would like to thank the Congolese delegation for the information provided during its hearing with the committee and for its willingness to welcome a mission to the DRC after the presidential elections. The committee reviewed the new case of Mr. Cherubin Okende, an opposition member of parliament who was found shot in the head in his car. The committee is appalled at this matter, and in light of the information given during the hearing, we are confident that the means employed by the authorities to conduct the investigation will reveal in the coming weeks who is behind this crime. The committee also examined the case of Mr. Kabund, another opposition member of parliament. He was sentenced to 7 years in prison for criticizing the head of state. The committee is concerned at the severity of Mr. Kabund's sentence for exercising his right to freedom of expression. The committee calls on the authorities to strengthen the protection of this fundamental right by aligning the laws on offenses constituting defamation against the head of state with international human rights standards. Lastly, the committee examined the new cases of Mr. Sakanyi and Mr. Mushokbekwa, 2 parliamentarians whose parliamentary mandates were arbitrarily invalidated for absenteeism despite medical certificates explaining their absence. The committee takes note of the information submitted by the authorities and calls on the National Assembly to provide a copy of the report of the special committee tasked with reviewing cases of absenteeism. We invite you to adopt the draft decision on pages 1 to 7 and 28 to 34 of the English version and French versions, respectively. I move to Eswatini.
Any comment related to this section of the report? No? Okay. The decision is adopted.
Thank you. Then I'll move to Eswatini. This concerns the case of 3 parliamentarians, 2 of whom have been in detention on various charges since July 2021, in the aftermath of protests calling for democratic reforms in Eswatini. On the 1st June this year, the judge in the case found them guilty of the most serious charges, but reserved sentencing for December, both men spending 20 years in prison. The findings of the IPU trial observer and our analysis of the verdict confirm earlier concerns that the criminal cases brought against the parliamentarians came in response to their actions to support political change. Indeed, our committee is convinced that both men should never have been prosecuted in the first place. We sincerely hope that the matter will still be resolved in a way that is in line with applicable human rights standards before the men are sentenced. At the same time, our committee remains keen to travel to Eswatini to discuss with the relevant authorities and other stakeholders the issues that have emerged in this case. We invite you to adopt draft decisions on pages 9 and 1 of the English and French versions, respectively.
And is there any reservation on this section? No. Adopted.
Thank you. I will therefore move to Senegal. The following draft decision concerns the case of Mr. Osman Sonko in Senegal. The committee sincerely thanks the Senegalese delegation for the productive hearing held during this assembly. It was reassured to learn that Mr. Sonko was receiving medical care. Nonetheless, it remains very concerned by Mr. Sonko's state of health. The committee also has concerns regarding the possibility that Mr. Sonko could be prevented from carrying out the necessary steps to validate his candidacy for the upcoming presidential election. The committee wishes to send a delegation to Senegal as soon as possible to visit Mr. Sonko in detention and to be able to settle this case in a satisfactory manner. We thank the Senegalese delegation for its assurances that it will cooperate in this regard. We invite you to adopt the draft decision on pages 35 and 37 of the English and French versions, respectively.
Any reservation on this section of the report? No. Adopted.
Thank you. I will move to Zimbabwe. The committee thanks the Speaker of the National Assembly for the exchange it had with him during a hearing and for his assurance that an on-site mission to Zimbabwe is welcome. We look forward to receiving the details of the organization of such a mission as soon as possible. However, the committee is concerned by alarming reports about the rapidly deteriorating health of Mr. Job Sikala, a seasoned parliamentarian of the Citizens Coalition for Change opposition party, who has spent more than a year in a maximum security prison over a speech he made in June last year. You have before you the report of the IPU trial observer who attended some of the court proceedings in this case. His findings confirm allegations that Mr. Sikala's rights to a fair trial are being violated, including his right to bail. The observer highlighted several breaches of due process and concluded that there was no evidence to support the verdict that Mr. Sikala was guilty of obstructing the course of justice. The committee deplores the fact that the continued arbitrary detention of Mr. Sikala made it impossible for him to practically exercise his right to take part in the 23rd August elections. The committee urges the authorities to free Mr. Sikala at once and to ensure that all his rights are respected. The committee received a new complaint from 23 parliamentarians from the CCC or CCC party, claiming that speakers of both houses had revoked their mandates in an arbitrary manner. It alleges that the speakers acted on a fraudulent letter from an imposter claiming to act as the interim Secretary General of the CCC while ignoring all communications coming from the CCC parliamentarians. The committee believes that these 23 newly elected opposition parliamentarians should never have lost their seats in Parliament and calls on the authorities to consider modifying this procedure to ensure that all members of Parliament can carry out their mandate freely. We invite you to adopt the draft decisions on pages 43 to 46 and 45 to 48 of the English and French versions, respectively. Mr. President.
Any reservation on this section of the report? No. Adopted.
Thank you. I will move to Asia. I'll start with Myanmar. In Myanmar, 72 parliamentarians have been subjected to serious violations, including arbitrary arrest and detention, torture, and inhuman treatment following the military coup d'etat of 2021. Their situation is alarming, as all visits to the detained parliamentarians and their communication with the outside world have been banned for over a year. In addition, we are shocked to learn that 5 parliamentarians have lost their lives while avoiding arrest. We strongly condemn these crimes against our colleagues and once again urge the military authorities to release all parliamentarians immediately. We also reiterate our call to you and all our fellow parliamentarians to take action in solidarity with our colleagues in Myanmar, who all need our support. We request the IPU to take action to help put an end to impunity in this case. We invite you to adopt the draft decision on pages 16 and 9 of the English and French versions, respectively.
Any reservation on this section of the report? No. Adopted.
Thank you. I will move to Pakistan. The committee thanks a member of the Pakistani delegation for the constructive exchange that took place during a hearing. However, the committee is deeply concerned by the deteriorating situation of opposition parliamentarians in Pakistan, as it has received a new complaint with allegations of arbitrary arrest and detention, inhumane treatment and violations of due process against 4 parliamentarians of the PTI party, including its chairperson, Mr. Imran Khan. The complaint also covers allegations concerning the case of Senator Swati of the PTI, who was forced to go into hiding to avoid further persecution. The committee is troubled by allegations that military and intelligence authorities use threats and acts of intimidation and infringe the right to privacy of PTI parliamentarians who remain loyal to their party or are critical to the authorities, and that such pressure ceases as soon as they change their affiliation. The committee urges the Pakistani authorities to ensure that crimes against their colleagues are not left unpunished, regardless of their affiliation, and to ensure that such cases do not recur. It also hopes to go to Pakistan urgently to meet all parties to make progress towards the resolution of the growing number of cases in the country. We invite you to adopt the draft decision on pages 21 and 14 of the English and French versions, respectively.
Any reservation on this section of the report? No. Adopted.
Thank you. I will move to the Philippines. The committee is presenting to you draft decisions in 4 cases in the Philippines. Let me start with the positive news. In the cases of Mr. Ocampo and Mr. Trillanes, the doubtful legal action taken against them has finally been dismissed, which is why we are pleased to recommend that you close these cases. The situation is not very rosy, however, in the 2 remaining cases. Former Senator De Lima continues to linger in detention on drug charges, even though the prosecution's case has collapsed. Indeed, a full analysis of her situation shows convincingly that she was charged in response to her criticism of former President Duterte. We therefore renew our call on the Philippine authorities to release MS De Lima immediately. With regard to the last case, which concerns a current parliamentarian, MS Castro, and a former parliamentarian,
Malaysia, and Ms. Brosas of the Philippines. So as you can see, we have 3 applications for one slot, and I do not know whether there has been any development since we prepared this note. Mr. President, in the event that the three candidates maintain their candidature, the Governing Council is required to proceed to a vote in order to decide on one of the candidates. And normally, the rules say that the Governing Council, for such cases, shall vote by show of hands. Unless someone asks for a roll call vote, or you, Mr. President, you decide to have that roll call vote. We would suggest, in view of the time that has transpired so far in the Governing Council, you may wish, Mr. President, to invite your colleagues to proceed to a vote by show of hands. And if that's the case, then my colleagues are on standby to do a counting of the delegates as they show their hands, members of the council as they show their hands, so that we can count those votes and proceed to taking a decision on who fills that slot on the Committee on Human Rights of Parliamentarians. Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. So the first thing we needed to understand is that if the three candidates maintain the wish to run for this position, because otherwise, if you have just one, it's easier. So I will ask Switzerland if you maintain.
Oui, je le souhaite maintenir.
Yes, I would like to maintain my candidacy. Thank you.
Mr. Ong of Malaysia.
Yes, he is maintained as MP.
Thank you. And Mrs. Brosas of the Philippines. Okay, same. Okay, so we need to vote. It's easy, because when we have one vacancy and one candidate, it's easy by acclamation. But if we have three candidates for one position, we need to vote. Usually, when we are talking about, in these cases, with names of persons, we vote in a secret ballot. Secretary General, by way of, because we are with a lack of time, asked to do it by hands. And so, I will try to identify if there is no opposition to do it this way. No opposition, so we will do it this way. I will put one name, and the people that vote in favor, raise your hands. The members of our staff will try to count. And then the second name and the third one. Just a second.
Excuse me, President. Here, Chile.
Chile.
Is it one vote per country or 3 votes per country? How is that gonna be?
Okay, thank you. I will try to confirm it with the Secretary General.
Yeah, it's the same procedure as you did for the roll call vote.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, it's the same procedure as you did for the roll call vote. So delegates who have gender balanced or have gender inclusive delegations have 3 votes. Those that are just singles gender delegation will be entitled to 1 vote. So my colleagues will be on the lookout for that. Thank you.
Point of order.
A point of order. Who is asking? Seychelles, please, you have the floor, sir.
I would also like to have a geographical balance. So if we could quickly confirm who are the other members on the committee, it would help us with the vote.
Thank you. Very pertinent question. Just a second. Just 1 second, please. We are asking to have the composition. Secretary General, please.
Thank you. I am informed by my colleague that the current composition of the committee is as follows: 3 representatives from Africa, 3 from Asia, and 4 from 12 plus. Is that correct, Rohier?
The chair of the committee.
Yes? I can't hear you, Rohier. Come down.
Asia, there's only one person right now. Not 3 from Asia right now. Mr. President, Asia is only one representative.
Okay, then we ask the formal list, and this way we will say the names, and it will be clear to everyone the composition. Allow me, just a second, please.
Asia currently only has one representative in the committee.
Now, with all the information, we have 3 members from Africa, 3 members from the 12 plus, 2 members from Latin America, and 1 member from Asia. So it is the final and formal composition of this board. This way we answer the point of order raised by Seychelles, a very pertinent one, that help all of you to vote. Again, Mrs. Felman Riel of Switzerland, Mr. Wong of Malaysia, and Mrs. Brozas of the Philippines. So we will vote. Everyone are in condition. So first one, we will vote in favor, then second, last one. So, in favor of Mrs. Felman Riel of Switzerland, who is in favor, raise your hands, please. And I ask our members of our staff I remember 3 votes for country, unless there is just one gender, and this way we'll have just 1 vote. Here and up, I don't, as well. There are members of the IPU staff on the balcony. Try to identify the votes. Please keep your hands raised until the members of the staff inform us that they did the contabilization of the votes. Is it okay? I am asking the members of the staff from this side. Yes, it's done. From this side, I see the message from our staff. From this side, not yet. And from the balcony, it's done as well. So balcony, you don't need to raise your hands. Just a second to finish from that side.
Demande de parole. Demande de parole, s'il vous plaît.
Could I have the floor, please?
I will give the floor after we finish the contabilization, try to avoid any kind of confusion. It's done this side as well. Is it? The middle is done as well, sorry. Just, it's okay? I am trying to identify one signal. It's done? Okay, so everyone can thank you. Now, we will put on the floor to vote to Mr. Wong of Malaysia. Who vote in favor, please raise your hands. And the members of the staff will do the contabilization. I'm asking if in the balcony it's done or not. Not yet. Okay, from this side it's done. From that side as well. In the middle as well. Thank you. I'm waiting for the balcony. Obrigado. Now, in the middle, you can rest. It's a good exercise, but balcony as well. It's done as well. Thank you. So everyone votes. Now, Mrs. Brosas of the Philippines. Who is in favor of Mrs. Brosas? May you raise your hands, please? In the balcony, it's done. Thank you. On the floor, the register is done as well. I'm waiting for the information from our staff. From here, it's okay? And from there, I'm waiting the information that is contabilized. It's okay. So it's okay. Also, thank you for your efforts. Is possible to have the results?
Who is giving us the results? Who is giving the results? I'm waiting for them to tally the votes.
For of women report.
Yeah.
Okay, dear colleagues, they will take some minutes, if you allow me, because we try to go ahead. We can go to the point 14A, the Forum of Women Parliamentarians report. And for it, I will give the floor to Mrs. Cynthia Lopez Castro.
Yeah, is that her? Or the, no,
So,
the Mrs. Marquette. No, but they have to resolve. We have.
okay. So we have the results. It's easier to congratulate Mrs. Fellman for the election for the Bureau of the White Men's of Parliamentarians with 73 votes. Mr. Ong has 49 and Mrs. Brosas 15. And so I congratulate Ms. Fellman and I wish her a good work in this very important committee of IPU. Allow me, we should follow with different reports. But I understood that the team that was on the counting of the votes to the presidential election ended their work. And so I prefer to interrupt the reports, to give the results, and to understand if we need a second round or not. Because how we manage our work depends on that. If we have just one round, if we don't need a second one, after the announcement, we will ask the winner to use the floor, of course, to say some words. And I will ask all members that wish to congratulate the winner to do it maybe outside our assembly, because we need to go ahead with our agenda. And if you have a huge confusion inside the room, it will not be easy. And later on, we will not go home tonight. I'm waiting the results. I don't know if the candidates are in the room. All them? Okay. It's important to have all the candidates inside the room for a question of transparency. And we don't know who will be called to, if it's done. The tellers are here. Mrs. Erickson and the speaker Aldajur. Thank you for your task.
Thank you. She a winner in the first round. Okay. Absolute majority.
Dear colleagues, the figures that we obtain with representatives of all the candidates are the following. Number of bullets, 303. It means that the majority, absolute majority, was obtained with 152. The first candidate, Mrs. Canote, obtained 59 votes. The second one, Ms. Ara, obtained 61 votes. The fourth candidate, Ms. Agi, obtained 11 votes. The first candidate, Mrs. Tulia obtained 172 votes. So, in the middle while, I ask Thank you, dear colleagues. I am asking, now I need to declare elected Mrs. Tulia as President of IPU. And I invite the new President, please, to come and to address the members of the Governing Council. And again, thank you to all the 4 candidates. It was very important to have more than one candidate. It was very important to have 4 women running for the presidency here in Africa. Thank you to all of them for the mission you did it also to the IPU and to the women in power in politics. And so, I will give the floor, and please, after it, if you wish to congratulate Mrs. Tulia, do it out of the room because you need to go ahead. Allow me to give the floor to Mrs. Tulia, first of all. you, dear colleagues, please, you need to create conditions, especially the supporters of Mrs. Tulia, to give the opportunity to the new president address the governing council. Please create the conditions. It's a very important moment to the IPU, I believe to the speaker Tulia as well, and so we need to give her all the conditions to do the statements she wishes to present us. Please, Madam President, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you. I am very humbled. Thank you so much. Honorable Duarte Pacheco, well, he's still president until he handles over president of the IPU, and Martin Chugong, Secretary General. Dear colleagues and friends, I am overwhelmed. I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Thank you for the confidence you have bestowed on me by electing me the IPU president. I accept this position with all humility, while recognizing all the responsibilities that come with it. I congratulate the outgoing president, Mr. Duarte Pacheco, and the IPU Secretariat for organizing a well-organized and coordinated 147th IPU Assembly in Luanda, Angola. I also thank Right Honorable Carolina Siqueira, Speaker of the National Assembly of Angola, for being a great host, and in particular, the choice of the venue of our meetings have been excellent. I am indebted to the unwavering support from my president, Honorable Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, and the government of the United Republic of Tanzania, which is represented here today by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and East African Cooperation, Honorable January Makamba. Thank you so much for coming to represent Her Excellency. I dedicate special thanks to my campaign team, led by Right Honorable Speakers, Members of Parliament, and comrades from many countries worldwide, my fellow Members of Parliament from Tanzania, and the Secretariat of the National Assembly of Tanzania. I also acknowledge and congratulate my fellow contestants for a dignified campaign that we have all run. And before I conclude my speech, if you allow me, Mr. President, to request that the other candidates come forward as I conclude my speech.
Thank you, Madam. Very well.
Thank you. Can the candidates please come forward so that I thank you for what you have put into all this that has made me president today. Before I conclude, I reaffirm my commitment to work hand in hand with you all to make the IPU the most effective, accountable, and transparent organization. Now, the first candidate who is just coming up here is Malawi. Please come. Is Right Honorable Catherine Gotan Hara, Speaker of the National Assembly of Malawi. She has put a good fight, and it is her good fight that has made all of us here feel proud to be represented by me as your president. So, Right Honorable Catherine, thank you for the good fight that you have put, because it is that fight that makes all of us as IPU family to feel proud of our institution and to always feel like we can work together. So we will work together. I am sure You had good ideas of how the IPU should move forward. I will need those ideas so that we propel the IPU to greater heights. Thank you so much for putting up a good fight.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, I don't know if Senegal is already here.
It's coming.
Ah, she's coming. Okay, is Somalia already here? Okay, Senegal is coming. As she's coming, because I don't want to waste much of your time, Mr. President, let me also talk about her. She has also put in a good fight, which has brought us all here. We have had a chance to know most of you delegates. It's because of the fight that has been put forward by these very able women. If this fight wasn't there, we wouldn't probably have reached out to all of you the way we have done. So this is an opportunity as the IPU family to move forward together, having done this. So, Madam Kanute, thank you so much for putting up a good fight. I really appreciate it. I am sure you had a very good idea of how you can move the IPU. Now, we will be working together to make sure the IPU that you wished would. Me, as your sister, will make sure your ideas work as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, Somalia is almost here. Thank you so much for putting up a good fight as well. And I believe the IPU family have had a chance to know these very able 4 women from the African continent. But since a chance was only for one, I have been elected to represent all of you. I am sure I'm going to make all of you proud, Somalia inclusive. Please come up here, and thank you for the good fight that you had put in. Thank you so much. You kept saying you have good ideas how to move the IPU further.
Exactly.
We will be consulting you so that we work together to make sure our IPU is a better place, but also it's a voice for everyone in the world. Thank you.
I'm so happy that East Africa is.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. President, thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'll finish by saying you are outgoing president, yes, but you will always remain the president of IPU. And under my leadership, I will be consulting you a lot because you have been there, and the rest of the presidents also who have been there. So I need your ideas to make sure IPU moves forward. Thank you so much for your service, and thank you so much for overseeing this election that has elected me as president of IPU. Thank you so much, Mr. Pacheco. Thank you so much, Mr. Duarte, my friend. Thank you. Now to you delegates, I started by saying I am humbled and overwhelmed by your support. Let me pledge to you, whatever it is that I said I will do for the IPU, I will do just that. Trust me. Now, without wasting much of your time, I would like to say thank you so much for bestowing upon me this honor. I take it with all humility. I will do justice to IPU. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. Obrigado. Gracias. Shukran lak. Asante sana.
Thank you, Madam President. I wish you all the luck. We know your capacity of work and your competence. It is not easy, never, to a president of IPU, but I will wish you all the luck, and IPU as a great president, a woman from Africa. Congratulations, Madam. And now we need to come back to our agenda. I knew that it is a very important moment, and so this way I will ask Madam President if you can receive the congratulations in the corridor, because we need to go to the next report. I was calling on that moment when we received the information that is possible to announce, I received the information that it's possible to present the report of the Forum of Women Parliamentarians, and so I will give the floor to Mrs. Malaquias from Angola to present the report. Again, I will ask the favor to our president, elected president, okay. Thank you, Martin, to our elected president, if it is possible, and I ask the escorts if they can help Madam President to be outside of a room to receive the compliments from the different delegations, because I wish to give the floor to Mrs. Malaquias.
I was in the bureau.
No, it's not you.
Not me. Okay. Okay. Because someone told me and I was running.
Which it is here? Yeah, it's the order.
I understood that Mrs. Malaquias is not on the room. I will ask Mr. Laferrière, Chair of the Committee of Middle East, is present in the room.
No, I think there are two people presenting the role, Karim and Netherlands.
Neither is not present.
Mokhtar.
Otherwise, it's better to interrupt. It's 15 minutes. Okay, I understood. Sometimes we need to be practical. I think we don't have conditions to go ahead in this moment with the interventions of our colleagues, because it's a very important moment. We need to understand that everyone wishes to congratulate the elect president. And so we make one interruption for lunch, and we came back 2:30. Sharp, please, otherwise we will be here for a long time. 2:30, and we have a break for lunch, and this way you have the opportunity also to congratulate the new president of IPU. Thank you.
Recording stopped.